Hello everyone, it is Sydney, and for today's reading, we're going to be talking about 4 readings that were posted and providing the most beneficial information related to organizational communication and why I found it most beneficial. So the first reading that I read was 7 Habits to Win in Office Politics, and I thought this reading was amazing. I really enjoyed it. I thought that it's really beneficial for not only me, but you guys as well, and I resonated with it a lot. So the 3 things I'm going to be talking about, one is being aware that you have a choice. I think that this is not only in organizational communications, but in life as well. You always have a choice if you want to take something negatively or if you want to take something positively. So if there's something negative going on in the workplace, you can take it either way, and how you take it is going to impact the outcome of that. Second is know what you're trying to achieve. So separating yourself from drama to get things done. When you're in drama and you're gossiping all the time, it's just eliminating the work that you need to get done. And I think if you know what you're trying to achieve going into the workplace, and it might be hard because when people are gossiping, you might want to, like, your ears are open. You might feel like sometimes you want to say a little bit, but once you get wrapped up in that, I think it can be really bad. So I think once you know what you're trying to achieve and just to stick with it, you'll be good to go. And I also saw a quote. It said, if the business doesn't win, no one wins. So if everyone's gossiping in the business and no one's doing the work, then the organization isn't going to flourish. And the third thing is seek to understand before being understood. So a lot of issues come about from miscommunication. When there is a negative issue that arises, both parties want to say their piece at first, and they're defensive. So people want to be the first to say everything, but I think sometimes you have to step back and seek to understand them, and they will understand you. So you don't always have to be the first to get the word out. The second reading that I read was Office Politics, and I think there was a really good point in the reading. It was talking about gossip gone wild, why being a gossiper limits your career. And I think this kind of touches on the first reading a little bit, but it goes more in depth about gossiping in the workplace. So 1, you are reducing the players you can work with in the future. So would you want someone on your team who always gossiped and said bad things about other people? I don't think a lot of people would. So basically, if you're gossiping, you're just reducing people that you can potentially work with in the future. When someone hears your name, they're going to automatically think, oh, that's that person that was talking about that person. I don't want to work with them. Secondly, is this person your competition? So a lot of the times we see people as our competition, and we really don't see the whole point, the whole organization as a whole. We just see that person, and we're competing against one person. So if you kind of start thinking and changing your mindset, I think that will really help. And another point, it said if you don't like the person, that's okay. Not everyone has to like each other, but like I mentioned in my last video, that you have to respect them and work your way around those issues. And third, limiting your future opportunities. It kind of touches upon reducing the players you can work with in the future. So limiting your future opportunities when, for example, if you're a boss in the workplace, you are up for a promotion against another employee, and your boss went to another employee and they were like, how is so-and-so? What do you think about them getting the new position? Can you just tell me a little bit about this person? You never know what they're going to say behind closed doors. If you're always gossiping about someone, that's all that person knows about you, and that's all that they can tell to your boss. So I think just limiting your future opportunities and not gossiping is a really good thing to remember. And I think gossiping gone wild in this whole piece that we read is just really beneficial, because I think it's easy to gossip. It's easier to say negative things about people than to say positive things. And I think it's important for us to know going into the workplace, in any work field, that gossiping is not something that we should do, and we should find a way to work around it. The third reading was Herzberg's Motivators and Hygiene Factors. So this reading kind of touched upon 2 things. It touched upon eliminating job satisfaction, and it also touched upon creating conditions for job satisfaction. So I'm going to touch upon the second point because I really thought this resonated with me in present day right now, something that I'm kind of going through now, and I think it's also beneficial for all of you guys to know as well. So number 1, creating work that is rewarding and that matches people's skills and abilities. So obviously when you're applying for a job and you get the job, sometimes you might not be doing exactly what you want to do, but I think it helps if the organization eventually pushes the employee to do what they're best at. So I think when you're matching someone's skills with their skills, what they're good at, it will not only help them flourish, but help the organization flourish because they'll be more willing to do the work and be more excited to get the work done. Second is giving as much responsibility to each team member as possible. So this is another important thing. People might, or employees might feel left out if they're not getting as much work as other, employees are getting. And sometimes the reason for that may be that they're just not up to par with certain responsibilities that are given to other people. But this touches upon the next point, which is offering training and developmental opportunities for employees that maybe might not be up to par with the other employees. So I think organizations that try to do these types of things, they're giving more of an effort than organizations that don't even care and that are just like, we're just going to keep you in the same spot. You're going to be stagnant. You're not going to grow. Because when employees aren't growing, the organization necessarily isn't growing. They're just staying still. They're not pushing themselves to do better. And lastly, providing opportunities to advance in the company through internal promotions. So I think that promotions are a good way to not only boost the employees' morale, but to just make them feel like they're worth it, If an employee, it doesn't have to necessarily be a whole step above, a whole nother promotion to another level, but it can just be little things like employee of the month or employee of the week or something little just to make them feel like they're worth it. And there was a point that they said, taking care of your employees, organizational atmospheres will be better and grow together, which I think is very important. And it also said, when you're seeking to motivate people, firstly, get rid of the things that are annoying them and make sure they're treated fairly and with respect. So I think those three things, fairly, with respect, and eliminating the things that, that aren't motivating them are key to organizations growing and flourishing. And I think these things are really beneficial because as employees or as future employees, we may feel down because, we're not getting the promotion we think we deserve, or we're not giving as much responsibility. So I think knowing these things, will really help us in our future organizations and to know maybe which organizations are not treating us as fairly and which organizations are doing their job. So the last reading was 6 main functions of a human resource department. And the 3 things that I'm going to touch upon is job safety, employee relations, and training and development. So job safety is extremely important. Everyone wants to feel safe in their job, and I think that's a great aspect of human resources. Secondly, employee relations. So it just helps strengthen the employer's relationship, job satisfaction, employee engagement, and resolving workplace conflict. So like we talked about in our discussion board, we had writing about workplace conflict, and a couple of students in the class talked about or mentioned human resources as a good place to go to get advice from, which I thought was really great and a really good tip. And third thing, training and development. Extensive orientation training to help them transition into a new organizational culture. So I know for the job I have right now, I had to do a ton of extensive training and development, and I think that was really beneficial because if things pop up in the workplace that you feel uncomfortable with, you'll already have that training and that knowledge to go back to human resources and kind of ask for extra help or know what to do and solve the problem yourself. So I think the aspect of human resources is really beneficial and important because some people may feel, or employees may feel, lost in the workplace and they don't know who to contact and who to talk to. And I think human resources is a very beneficial thing for employees now and future employees. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this topic and the reading for this week. I really personally enjoyed it. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to comment down below, and I hope to hear from you guys soon. See you!